Are $200 quad-core tablets in the future? Multiple Verizon devices are getting ice cream sandwich next week, and the HTC One X, S, and V are close. All this and more coming up right now. Hello everyone, I'm Jaime with Pocketnow.com and welcome to Android Revolution, the show where we go through what's hot and what's not inside the world of Google's Android project. Let's start this week off with what's hot. That's right folks, the HTC One X, S, and V are closer to a wallet near you, and I mean days close. The company has just confirmed that these devices will be available in the European market in countries like Germany, Austria, and Switzerland as soon as April 2nd, which is Monday. Now, how about the United States? Well, we've got tons of leaks of these devices running on T-Mobile. We even got Sprint calling it the Evo 1, and Best Buy recently leaked the One X being launched somewhere in mid-May. Now, if we've got May and June being mentioned, you can most expect these devices to be launched at CTIA. Now, quad-core tablets are everything we want, but what we barely get by manufacturers except for ASUS. And with the recent price range started by the Kindle Fire and the drop in price by the iPad 2, it's only a matter of time before somebody figures out a way to compete in the cheap side. And an interesting note is that Nvidia CEO recently mentioned that there's really no reason why OEMs can't pack their Tegra 3 quad-core processors on tablets that are as cheap as $200. And the reason why is because apparently they're doing their part and dropping the price in order for them to be able to provide. Now, let's hope that doesn't mean that we'll be getting plastic screen tablets like what we saw at MWC or any other terrible hardware, but at least we see that Nvidia is doing something. And let's hope that OEMs pick that up because competition is getting really fierce. And hey, recent leaks have Verizon deploying Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich to some of their droids as early as next week. We've been tipped that the HTC Resound, the Droid Razor, and the Droid Razor Max are all receiving the updates soon. Now, the question is when? Well, this was part of a Best Buy leak, so it could be mistaken. It could be early next week, it could be by the end of next week. Just stand by and keep hitting the update button or just wait for the over-the-air update to reach you. Now, T-Mobile has also confirmed that their HTC Sensation 4G and their Mace 4G are all getting ice cream sandwich. The question's when. Out of this week's coverage, make sure you catch Joe Levi's recent video on how to get the on-lap monitor working on your Android smartphone, or pretty much any other smartphone for that matter. Also catch his recent video on how to run Android applications on Windows through a service called BlueStacks App Player. Also, you can catch his rants and praises in the Android Guy Weekly show this time. He's talking about bloatware, and don't get me started with that. And also catch Dickie Adams' recent video on the HTC Vivid from AT&T getting Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich and therefore HTC Sense 3.6. And what about Samsung? Well, Sammy recently sold 5 million of their humongous Samsung Galaxy Notes in just 5 months. They're continuing on with their Galaxy line. This time they recently registered other names to come up in the future. First of all, they got the Galaxy Grand, they've got the Galaxy Premier, and also the Galaxy Next. They also came up with the idea of putting their Samsung Galaxy Beam on pre-order, though we suggest you stay away from that. That's happening in the UK. And well, Sammy, we're just waiting for you to come up with the Samsung Galaxy Free or something for your next sort of devices coming up. Okay, so that does it for what's hot. Let's continue on with what's not. And now the news are that Sony is pushing their updates for Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich on their Xperia line to probably May. They were supposed to bring it out by the end of March, then they came out with early April. Now they're talking about May. Why don't we just add December to the list? Sadly, recently the Sony Xperia S got an update that fixes a lot of the issues with battery life for all of you that are out there in the market to try to get one. But aside from that, it's sad to see that Sony hasn't really figured out how to get updates out of the table. For some reason, they come up with these really good hardware, but then their software doesn't really do the trick at the same time, sadly. And that's it for today's show. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Jaime Rivera. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you like what you saw. That's it for now.